Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a real deep dive into what feels like a pretty significant strategic shift for Pakistan, on the global stage.
Mm.
We're talking about their recent and really quite impactful appointments within the UN Security Council system. And this isn't just about like the diplomatic headlines, it's about exploring why these roles matter so much, what they mean for global counterterrorism, for regional stability, and, well, what they signal about Pakistan's evolving international role. Specifically, we're going to pull apart two key things: Pakistan getting the vice chair role for the UNSC Counterterrorism Committee in 2025, and also chairing the Taliban Sanctions Committee. That's the 1988 Sanctions Committee,
Mm.
officially. These aren't just, symbolic wins. They seem like clear nods to Pakistan's diplomatic efforts and their consistent engagement on really critical global issues.
Yeah, exactly. And what's particularly fascinating here for you listening is how these roles get even more weight
Mm.
because Pakistan is also serving as a non-permanent member of the Security Council right now. So that really amplifies their voice, not just on general peace and security stuff, but specifically in shaping these quite nuanced policies around counterterrorism.
Okay, so let's dive right into that first one. The Counterterrorism Committee, the CTC, we know it monitors global efforts, but Pakistan as vice chair, that feels, well, it feels weighty. What's the real significance there in practice?
Oh, absolutely. It's significant. So the CTC, right, it was set up after 9/11. Its job is basically monitoring how member states are doing on counterterrorism measures, things like stopping terror financing, limiting travel for terrorists, boosting legal frameworks, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Pakistan's role as vice chair, it's sort of unique. It's not just about ticking boxes. It's a real chance for them to bring, their on-the-ground realities, their hard-won lessons right into the top levels of global counterterrorism policy. I mean, Pakistan has been fighting extremist violence inside its borders and in the neighborhood for decades now.
A very long time.
Yeah, a leading country in the global war on terror since, what, the early 2000s? They've paid a huge price. Tens of thousands of lives lost, civilian, military, law enforcement, and billions spent on counterterrorism efforts, infrastructure.
So this appointment isn't just recognition,
No, it's more than that. It's
right?
recognition of their resilience, sure, but it's also a chance for them to maybe shift how the UN thinks about best practices, moving maybe beyond just theory to, well, lived, often painful experience.
Okay, so that makes sense, acknowledging their experience, their sacrifice. But let's be frank, Pakistan has also faced scrutiny over its own counterterrorism record sometimes. How does taking a leadership role like this interact with that narrative? Does it give them a platform to, say, push back or clarify, or does it put them under an even bigger microscope?
That's a really key question, and the answer is probably both. It definitely gives them a major platform, a chance to show transparency, commitment, maybe address some of those past criticisms by actively shaping policy from the inside. But yes, absolutely, it puts them under a much brighter spotlight. It demands even higher accountability for their own domestic actions. It's a bit of a strategic high-wire act, you could say.
High Wire Act. Okay. And building on that, the other role chairing the Taliban Sanctions Committee, especially now with everything going on in Afghanistan, that feels equally, if not more complex. Can you break down its function and why Pakistan is seen as, well, suited to lead it?
Sure. The 1988 Sanctions Committee, that's its official name, its job,
Yeah.
is overseeing sanctions against people and groups linked to the Taliban.
Okay.
So we're talking asset freezes, travel bans, arms embargoes, all designed to, weaken the Taliban's influence and stop them destabilizing Afghanistan and the wider region.
And Pakistan's position.
It's incredibly strategic. First, geography. They're right next door to Afghanistan. Plus, they have these deep historical ties, political links,